This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl.
Power on. Power on.
It's time to take your place on the starting grid and get ready for Racer Radio. Your host, Dave Stahl, about to take you for a white-knuckled lap around the motorsports industry, covering everything from top-notch national drivers and crew chiefs right down to your local kid racers and racetracks. Watch for the apex, because here comes Racer Radio with Dave Stahl.
All right, folks, welcome to Racer Radio FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
That's Britney Sandoval. She decided to hang with us today, and I'm just forever indebted. But besides that, Southwest Point of Sales sponsors this hour. They have a system for your grocery store owners, liquor store owners, or just a market owner getting a hard time finding cashiers to hang in there. Well, they do self-checkout. That's right. Everything is automated. It's wonderful. You don't have to worry about your self-checkout calling in sick. You know, not showing up for work and with a hangover. It's all computerized. And it's not that expensive. It costs you about what it costs you for a cash register. And the bonus is 7-day a week, 24-hour day service. When you're open, they're open. When you're open, they're there for you. That would be Jeff and Mark and the team. SouthwestPOS.com, 800-540-2149, 800-540-2149. Black Forest Motorsports, Porsche, Mini, BMW, dealer alternative, that's the place to be. Want to go racing? Even better. Go to blackforest.com, blackforest.com. Well, young lady, who have you've been giggling all afternoon about our guest.
Well, yeah, I had some lows yesterday.
But you found somebody that's more excited about racing than you.
Yes, I definitely had some highs yesterday. One we'll share now, and one, the fourth segment, in this bag I've been hiding it from you for the last 2 hours. The enthusiasm, it wasn't oozing from this driver. It was like fireworks. It was exploding. So I kind of want to dedicate this first segment to all the volunteers that make Verona Speedway happen.
Right.
Because it is an outlet for so many of us. I had a nice talk with Todd Salazar yesterday and just all the work that goes into this. And it's
People
all
have no
of that
idea.
work. So much time and energy and money just so, 100 of us that get out on the track can just feel the way. So I only just met this guest yesterday, and his enthusiasm was at an 11.
Okay.
Out of 10. And I'll tell you his name in just a moment. So I hope you're on the line. Please, without giving away your experience, your age, your division, Kyle Hopkins, can you describe how it felt to drive at Verona, race at Verona yesterday? Are you there, Kyle?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you can even put it into words.
Oh, thanks for having me on first.
Of course.
And it was an unreal experience. I could only imagine it being like a gladiator going into the Coliseum.
Whoa. That's a heck of a that's okay, so I have to ask.
What?
How often do you race?
Last night was the first time I have ever been in a race car.
What?
He came staggering. Like, I didn't even know who you were, Kyle, at first, because we all kind of look the same when we're on our race suits.
Yeah.
And I was, packing up everything, getting ready to go. It's dark, and like he's staggering up to me in his suit, and his head's in his hands, and he's just shaking and like just convulsing almost because he was so excited
About the night.
About it, yes. And how he's disappointed he can't race in 2 weeks because his dad's still injured. So tell us why you were in the car yesterday.
Yeah, what was up with that?
So the last practice, what was 2 weeks ago, last Friday, my dad was in the car for practice laps. And he wound up coming into turn 4 and sliding and hitting the K-rail.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was pretty bad. Got banged up pretty bad.
His ribs, right?
Rib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's sore. So, fortunately, thanks to Parker, Dustin, and Ryan down at AG Sandcars,
Yeah, they were just
able to
in
get
last
the car
week.
back together.
Yeah.
So they hustled, got the car back together. Also, thanks to DJ, their other brother, he was able to get our shock back going that got bent. So that whole family those guys are awesome. Every one of them.
Wow.
So they were definitely a big help to get me out there. So I was stoked.
So you're standing there looking at the car and you're going, geez, Dad's got his ribs kind of banged up.
Someone's got to drive the car.
I wonder who's going to drive the car.
So now
Exactly.
reveal the division, because it's not an easy division.
What were you driving?
Dwarf car.
Yeah, it's not easy.
You've never been in a car and you're in a dwarf car?
And he raced the main.
Yes. That was my first ever experience in anything like this.
Yeah. Did you ever find your underwear? Well, because it disappeared.
It took a while.
It took a while. It was so the first the heat races for placing that happened. I only had 5 other cars in my class.
Yeah.
So it was very mellow, and I had the track almost to myself.
Oh, okay.
It was quite a bit of light out. It was sunny. But when it came to the main,
15.
and I was sitting there in the dark, lined up with every car in front of me.
Oh, yeah, because
everyone started their motors, and that's when I felt like a gladiator waiting behind that cage, waiting for it to open.
The cage.
And when we rolled out
Into the Coliseum.
into the college, I've never felt anything like that.
Wow.
To hear every car just humming. And being in that dark
arena,
night vibrance with the lights was unreal. I felt like I stepped into a different world, honestly.
Did you sit there and say, what the hell am I doing?
Yeah, how about when we came up, we kind of swarmed them.
Did you swarm me?
Yeah. The first time I got lapped by in the main was intensity.
Yeah.
Because yes, it's my first time. I'm just trying to make it around this track.
I've been there.
Screwing anyone up.
Yeah, you held your line well.
They just came, and all I could do was hold my steering wheel as hard as I could and just keep my line.
Did you keep your eyes open?
What's that?
Did you keep your eyes open?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Were you breathing? Were you breathing?
Surprisingly well.
Oh, okay.
It took about 5 laps in the main, and something changed.
Oh.
I don't know if it was just because everyone was going so fast, but it pushed me into corners a lot faster than I was doing in the heat.
Wow.
And for the first time, really was able to get the car a little sideways and got to experience a little bit what that felt like. And it was like nothing like I've ever experienced. And the faster I went, the better the car worked.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. So, have you dropped the bad news on your dad that he's not in the car anymore?
I said, just keep poking him. As he heals, just keep poking him in the ribs. Sorry, Wayne.
It's an ongoing battle. I have been heavily looking at cars the last couple months, so I knew as soon as I got in one and drove it, it was over. And I already knew that I was getting one, but after last night, it was
signed, sealed, and delivered. It's happening.
Yes, I have a few priorities that I need to take care of first with my family, but I will 100%
be back
doing this.
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved his enthusiasm. Like, I'm like, rah, rah, not happy about it. Rah, rah, rah. And then he comes staggering
And
over.
ruined.
Oh, my God. That was so fun.
So how old are you?
I am 36.
So you started a tad late.
You came from motocross, right?
I started a tad late. I have never raced anything.
Oh, okay.
I raced BMX bikes when I was, younger.
Yeah.
raced sailboats. I did a lot of offshore sailboat racing. So I've done some extreme things.
Yeah.
But motor-wise, besides driving fast on the freeway, this is my first experience, like, going fast.
Yeah.
That.
After the heat race, he was grinning so big. I thought his cheeks must be sore today. And I looked at him and I go, this is my drug.
Yeah.
And I think you got it. Yeah.
Now you get it. Oh, that is so cool.
It was definitely a high point in my day
Brittany
yesterday.
has been on cloud 9
on your behalf.
Talking about you. But hey, we got to take a break. But I would like you don't have anybody at
Barona's calling in with results.
3:45.
Oh no.
Do you want to? I know. Unless
he has to go get somebody.
Who?
Are you available? Is what he wants to know.
At 3:45. Because we'd love to continue on because we haven't talked about, I guess it's your dad's sponsors.
Well, we can bring him and his dad in.
What do you got planned for if you can call back in at 3:45, we would love to continue this because right now we try to support the local tracks. We got Verona calling in, then we got Paris Auto Speedway calling in. But if you can call back in at 3:45, we would love to have you back on.
I will be on the road, so I will call in, and as long as our connection stays good, I would love to come back on.
And if not, don't worry, I'll have you and your dad in.
Yeah, and now remember the speed limit.
Yeah.
Because once you race, that's where the speed
take it out on the track.
Not on the highway.
Not on the highway.
The funny thing is, on the way home, I drove so slow.
Exactly, yes.
Like, holy crap, my body was just vibrating.
How'd you sleep?
Did you sleep? Yeah.
I did actually sleep like a baby. Once I got to sleep, I was out. But when I woke up this morning, it was still there.
Yeah,
every bit.
God.
A listener just texts in, dwarf cars, the natural predator to your bank account.
Yes.
Well, if you don't wad it up, you'll be doing just fine. Kyle, your enthusiasm has totally made our day.
And
I have to tell you.
Thank you, Verona, for letting us have that opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you to Verona, totally.
All right, Kyle, we will be in if you can make it at 3:45. If not,
be safe.
We will definitely have you back, no doubt about it, at your second race for sure.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye, Kyle. Thanks.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. Who knows who's calling in?
I think Dirt Dude.
You think the Dirty Dude?
Dirt Dude.
Right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is Racer Radio FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
Segment's brought to you by El Cajon Ford, where absolutely nobody treats you better than El Cajon Ford. Located at 1595 East Main Street in El Cajon. Just go to elcajonmotors.com. They actually moved the used car department back to the main store, so everything is right there. You can hoof the lot into Broncos. He's got a herd. Let me tell you, El Cajon Ford. Service department works on anything and everything in your garage. That's right. They got master techs. They can do all the service you need for any car you have because El Cajon Ford, being family-owned and operated, they want to make it a one-stop shop. All right. Well, it doesn't look like Mark is probably still sound asleep. Dirt Dude is hoarse. He probably doesn't have a voice left after the fair and then last night at the track. So
I can get results, but I just asked Dirt Dude if he was calling in, and he put, the phone is not working. I am trying. All right. Whose phone, I wonder? Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go. What's wrong with your phone, son?
I can go to my laps and get the results.
I kept on calling in and said, can't complete the call. The number doesn't work, not listed or something. I'm like, I tried that, and then I hung up, and I tried again, and then it rang. So,
all righty. Thanks for trying again. So did you hear our first guest?
Yeah, he came up and said hi to me, and I'm like, dude, man, you're a guppy swimming with the sharks in that tank, man.
Oh, let's be a little positive and supportive.
Well, it's a competitive division.
Well, I just telling me straight up, man. Just keep your head on a swivel and run, man. Just go for it. Don't be afraid of it, but don't, know your limits.
No, that was good advice.
Yeah.
It sounds like he took it. And
Yeah, he white-knuckled it. He said he white-knuckled it the whole time.
So excited. He was staggering over to my trailer after the main event with just bubbling over with
He
enthusiasm.
did pretty good. I mean, he had one spin that I know that I know he had one spin, and that was it. Other than that,
He did.
He kept his own. He kept himself clean. So
Yeah.
he didn't wreck anybody. No one wrecked him, and
Nope.
I think it was a pretty good night.
No, he totally held his line.
All in all, it was a great night all the way across the board. Everything was great last night. First off, Jeff Stoddard, one of our fire crews, got to thank him. 37 years of service on the fire crew between and Verona. He's going to, I think, Idaho or something like that. He's leaving. This is his last race.
What?
Last race.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know. I would have gone up and crushed him with a hug.
Yeah, they had a big tribute online. Yeah, he's going to be.
He
He's
wasn't
definitely
paying
going to be missed.
attention.
We actually did a little thing at the beginning, and then they gave him a little plaque, cool plaque. It's on his Facebook page. It's actually like a cutout of the early fire and rescue truck.
I did
Cajon, which
see
is the van,
Right.
Yes.
the van one. And then afterwards, after we got done, I was getting ready to do the last interview for Pony Stock, and they're like, "We're going to take our last ride." So I was like, put everything down, and we gave him a thumbs up as he came by. So it was
love
really cool.
the fire crew, and I love when I don't see them. Oh, Jeff.
So it was just a great night. I was figured I was going to lose my voice, and I pretty much did. So
Yes.
I was like, after being at the fair for race camp?
A month.
We call it race camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With our junior drivers and monster trucks, and then only like 2-3 days off, and then trying to recover. And then I went pretty good the whole night. And then at the end, I was like, okay. So I had left, and then we had about 640 people show up in the stands. I don't know what our car count was. It was good, had good numbers, 21 pures. The Southwest Lightning Sprints were there last night. We did 2 dashes, did a dash for cash for IMC Modifieds and a dash for cash for Southwest Lightning Sprints, Power Eye Southwest Lightning Sprints. Got to thank everyone that helped out with that. AG Sand Cars, Ron Tire and Brake, Pacific Auto Electric, JP Marine, and Big Mark Rose. And then we were getting ready last night, and then another person donated another $500 for last night to split up between all the purses, and then another $500 for the next race coming up at the summer shootout on the 21st and 22nd, and that was Alexander Construction.
Wow.
Charles Alexander, general contractor and licensed electrical contractor, was like, "Hey, what can I do to help?" He goes, can I give you 500? I'm like, do you want to do 500 tonight, or do you want to save your 500 for next race when we do the big summer shootout? He's like, how about both?
Oh, my. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really cool. Really cool. Just like, hey, people really want to help. We had a bunch of people, every time at the driver's meeting.
I know. I was thinking
everyone's
that.
like,
The driver's meeting, it's almost like we're at the auction. I got another 100 here, another 100 here. And then do I hear another 100?
everyone just pulling, hey, I got a friend, he wanted to chip this in, it's just cool. The way the fans and the racers are so far at this season, at Verona Speedway, I haven't seen it like this ever, that, everyone's so supportive. Everyone's having a great time. There's a few things that go wrong, but that's going to be given at any track or any time. But, it just seems really positive this year. Everything's going really good.
But, Dirt Dude, don't you think, it's like I talked to the guys at the Automotive Museum, which you probably haven't been in a while. But ever since the new CEO took over, and I mean, the attendance, the donations to the museum has been off the charts. And I think you can say the same thing about Verona. I think the quality of racing, the condition of the track, and all the surroundings, I mean, it just draws people to want to volunteer and donate and do whatever it takes to put a good race on the track. And I really think that has a lot to do with it.
Well, it seems like now a lot of people are just like getting like the word out, or like people are just finding out, and they're coming and they're having a great time. So it's a lot of people, turning over and like, oh, we've never been here before. We just heard about it, come out, and then like they're having a great time.
Yeah, Dominic.
Add on to it.
I talked to a gentleman. He came down from Thousand Oaks. He drove 3.5 hours, even though Ventura was racing the same division, and he was so happy about. He goes, I go, why did you come here if you could have just gone to Ventura? He goes, oh well, I wanted to race the Verona boys. And then he was about to leave, and I'm like, did you get your cash payout? And he's all, what? I get a what? And he got second. So he's like, I got my gas money? No. He was so excited. He was so glad he came down and tried out Verona, even though he had a closer track.
Well, the folks that put our AC in, a weather machine, next thing I know, I'm getting a text and a photo. And she also bought a Rottweiler from us. Oh. And her and the Rottie were sitting at the track, and they'd never been before. But I had told them a long time ago, I said, you really need to, get out there and support the track. So and I think that has a lot to do with it. Everybody and they all have such a great time. I think that's the cool part.
Can I say results?
You're talking about Dominic Maldonado, at a Thousand Oaks. I was like, oh man, I've never seen this person before, or the name I didn't really recognize. So at a Thousand Oaks, that's cool to make your way down.
Yeah, and he had a great time. I talked to him before, during, and even after the main, and I think we'll see him again.
Right.
We have 2 minutes for results.
Okay, well, we'll just try and buzz through it. Junior sprints, Caden Johnson from Growing Up Garage got a main event win. On your Sportsman Mini Dwarf, Charlie Gay, she's like 8 years old, something like that.
She's a
Racing
cutie.
BMX professionally in national, and she just got into racing, had her first main event win. Cody Isabella in a Masters Mini Dwarf got a main event win. One of the best battles I've seen. Him and Bryson Byford battled for the last, probably 6 to 8 laps, side by side, clean action. It was almost as good as in our modifieds. Had the same thing. Matt Hicks held off the 75 Chaz Baca. Baca's out of here, out of Mesa, Arizona, and it was just a great race on that one. Dwarf cars, Robert Peters. You got to start the main event, didn't you, Brittany? You had a front row on that one.
I pulled a 50 at the beginning of the day and a 1 at the redraw.
You never told me that.
Well, everything else fell apart.
So we had the Power Eye Southwest Lightning Sprints, and Brent Sexton showed up, and he brought a couple cars, and he put Darren Brown in one of the cars.
Are you listening, Dave? I didn't tell you this.
Watch this kid. Sure enough, Brent Sexton wins the Dash for Cash. Yep. He wins his heat race. Darren Brown comes out, got down to the end of the main event, and he was just hunting all over the back of Brent Sexton, made a pass, and then just checked out, was like leaving him. And one of the greatest, Darren can drive or wheel anything that I know of.
I know.
And he goes, this has been amazing. He goes, I just got in this car, and he goes, it's one of the funnest things to drive.
Yeah.
IMCA Sport Compacts, Chris Nemi had a great run. He got a main event win.
Is he the one that had a Domino's light on the top of his car?
That's his dad, Jeff. Jeff Nemi.
I was cracking
Chris
me up.
has the black car.
Oh, okay. I loved it.
That's a delivery car. That one.
The Domino's pizza.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got the Domino's thing on the top. The delivery. It's a delivery car.
I bet his pizza was cold.
Pure Stock, Robbie Norris got a main event win first time, and he's only been racing this is his first year racing full time. He did a couple races last year. Nathan DeRegan second, and Ponies, Raymond Schott got a main event win. Next race will be the 21st and 22nd, 2-day show. IMCA featuring all of our IMCA cars, plus Pure Stock and Dwarf cars.
Why are you guys saying dwarf? Mark said dwarfs too. We were not originally on that.
We added it. I think they added it to the schedule. I mean, do you guys want to race or not? I mean, we'll take off the schedule if you don't want.
Not up to me. I'm just surprised to hear this and did not plan on it.
She has to fix her bumper.
Yeah, I got some stuff to fix, And then finally, some tumbles. Did Preston Ellis take a tumble but is okay? And maybe Jacob Novak is okay?
Preston Ellis took a pretty crazy flip. They took him. He was okay in the car, moving around, and then he got unbuckled. He just didn't feel right. But then he stood up, and he goes, okay, I'm good. Sat back down, put all the belts on, everything, and drove the car, started up. He was going to see if he could race again, but he ended up taking off the track. I heard from his dad today. He's a little bit sore, but he was out playing with the kids last night
Of course.
There you
after
go.
the racing.
Of course.
So, and then Jacob Novak, he had a emergency room. They think he had some bruising in his hand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all
Tendons or
good.
something.
But
Everything's good.
I just told him kids are tough, buttercup.
Resilient.
Guy like me and Dirt Dude, we'd still be in the hospital.
Well, sounds like our next guest.
It's hard to recover anytime.
Yeah, I know. The older you get.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, glad to see your voice is back on track, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Well, 2 weeks, man. We'll figure it out and have another show.
You got it.
Thank you, Dirt Dude.
Thank you, Dirt
All right,
Dude.
see ya.
All right, we're going to take a break. This is FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
All right, folks, welcome back to Racer Radio FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
Brought to you by Paris Auto Speedway. If you've never been to Paris Auto Speedway, it is a circus, bar none. Everything from Night of Destruction to flat-out sprint car racing is what they're noted for. With that being said, we have Mark Henry on the line. Used to be a drag racer and decided
I'm going to go in circles now.
circles were better than See,
On the dirt.
Mark, if you're anything like me, I did a little drag racing. I hated sitting in the staging lanes for like 40 minutes in the heat. Get in the car, hammer it, 3, 4, 5 seconds later, you're done.
Oh yeah, no, that's drag racing right there. You sit around all day, maybe make 3 or 4 qualifying hits on Friday, and Saturday you go into eliminations, and if you go out first round, your tail's between your legs, and you're going home.
Yeah. How much fun is that? And to me, when I did it, drag racing is kind of surreal. You know, you're going stupid fast, but it's almost like not in slow motion, but it's over in a nanosecond. Where this, in a 410, geez,
Yeah, that's
you
a
couldn't-
handful.
You couldn't pick a bigger car, could you?
Oh no, definitely stepped up. Started in the lightning sprint.
Oh,
really stepped it up big. I didn't go 305. I didn't go 360. I went full on 410.
Oh my gosh! And so going back to drag racing.
Yeah, so grew up the whole family drag race. My Uncle Tim, pro mod, few championships, few wins.
Wow.
The man was on fire. I was maybe 8, 9 years old.
Sure.
Go out on the track, have fun, and showed up to one of the events, and then here's the junior dragster sitting there. And it was like, there's kids my age, just like me, doing drag racing, they're racing. And, that just lit a fire, in my soul. I'm like, Dad, we need to get a car. So found a car, picked it up, and I did that from when I was 11 all the way to I turned 18, and did really well in it. Few championships, lots of wins. I've have a few Wallies sitting on the shelf.
Wow.
And that was a pretty incredible journey being young. And, went to work, started working after high school.
Adulting. It's overrated.
And, became an adult, found a super comp dragster, and I started putting together, and I'm out in the garage, and they keep closing tracks. Fontana's done. A few other tracks they're trying to shut down. I'm like, why do I want to do this? So found a lightning sprint. Never watched dirt track on TV, YouTube, anything. Just my uncle had mentioned it to me. Said, hey, you're looking to some dirt circles. So I found this car down in Lakeside, and literally next weekend went out racing by myself, and nobody was there. Didn't even know how to set the car up. I had like 13 pounds of air pressure on the right rear, which is insane. And, get up there. I show up late at Bakersfield, and I'm strapped in the car, and I don't know what to expect. Never looked at the track. And I'm next car in line. We're doing single car qualifying, and I'm thinking 1,000cc street bike. These things ain't fast.
Yeah.
I'm next in line watching these cars zip around the track, and I was like, oh man, what did I get into? I can't back out now. And then as soon as I got on track, it was just, I'm just hooked. I want to race everywhere, do everything, and let's do this. So, yeah.
Wow. So
Welcome to the dirt.
So how long you been running in the dirt?
I got the car into 2019, so I got probably about 3 seasons.
Okay.
In the dirt car, yeah.
So you're hooked.
So the lightning sprint wasn't enough.
Of course.
Apparently.
Oh, definitely not.
Now, how did you get into a 410? Did somebody say, here, try this?
Pretty much kind of went that way. Last November at the Hangtown 100, I took a gnarly stumble in the car, destroyed this lightning sprint, and it was okay. I want to do one more season, and you obviously, I think you've had the Sextons on here before.
Oh yeah,
and Stan gifted me one of their spare chassis sitting there, not a gas chassis, it was just a 777, and said, "Hey, here you go." And it was okay. You know what? Sell all the lightning sprint stuff. Let's do this. So bought a car, started putting it together. I mean, I built the engine myself, done everything myself, figuring it out on my own. And,
wow.
Obviously, I've had help with BJ over at BJ Race Cars. He helps me with the machine work. Just everybody's helped me, but most of it, all the funding side's on me on this car.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Scott's told you a little bit where I go out first, practice laps at Paris, and I have the most beautiful sprint car you can ever buy. Titanium, carbon fiber body, you name it.
Murphy's Law.
Pretty much last session out, I go out and just come in the one time I just pushed it just a little too hard and biked it up on the cushion and destroyed this beautiful race car. Man, that's just really just a stab in the side, man. But I was very fortunate that Stan Sexton, owner of Gas Chassis, he had a brand new chassis sitting there, and he hooked it up on a price with it and put it together and went racing Bakersfield a few weeks ago, and it set out a few goals, and we met them. The main one was finish the race, and that's what I did.
There we go.
Yeah,
Check.
Finish the race in one piece. Thank you very much. So okay, so you're kind of funding this thing yourself. Do you have any sponsors at all?
As of right now, there's no sponsors. Obviously, I have my people that help me out. Trent Williams he's my crew chief.
Yeah,
he's absolutely amazing. Dan and Shane, they're always willing to pitch in and help. But funding wise, it's all been on me throughout Lightning Sprint and with the sprint car. I mean, obviously, I've had a couple people kick me money here and there, but nothing huge.
All right. So if you decide to go out and do a little marketing and try to get yourself some dollars, you can always tell your sponsors, hey, you support me, I'll get you on the only radio show in Southern Cal that sponsors or supports motorsports. And if you don't mind dragging your race car down to San Diego, I'll get you on the #1 watch morning show. Invite your sponsors or potential sponsors to come in, because you know as well as I do, when it comes to sponsors, it's all about exposure. It's all about getting their number, their name, their face in front of as many people as possible. And it doesn't cost you a thing from my end of it for radio and TV. And we are more than happy to help you. Just see Scott. He'll give you my contact info. And if you ever decide you want to pull that trigger, we are here to help you.
Okay, that's definitely something I'd be interested in here in the near future.
Right, because you know as well as I do, and I love your enthusiasm. And I know Britney, she races a dwarf car, and she's a school teacher. So not that that's a negative, but
but I pay for just about everything too.
Yeah, but and I will tell you, not blowing my own horn, but she was running a dwarf car with no power steering.
Ah, yes.
You got to see the guns on this girl, dude. I mean,
they're tiny little revolvers.
They're as big as or bigger than her thighs. That's how good she was without that power steering. So we talked about it on TV, and sure enough, somebody gave her power steering.
Apex, thank you, Apex.
So Apex Power Steering hooked her up. So now her little arms are back to being skinny again. So if we can help you anyway, how do people follow you around? You on any kind of social media?
Yes, I'm Facebook, Instagram. I have a few YouTube videos out there. I'm not very good at the YouTube, but my Instagram handle's at Henry_39R, and I believe the YouTube's Henry39R. And then Facebook, you can find me, Mark Henry Jr.
All right. Well, if you go to Facebook or Instagram, Dave Stahl, Stall. That's another way we can hook up. We'd be more than happy to support you. We'd love to let as many people know, what you're doing and how you're doing. And sounds like you're not going back to drag racing.
No.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, I don't blame you, dude.
Definitely not.
God, you get.
I mean, unless somebody said, "Hey, jump in my car this weekend," I'm doing it. But I won't. I don't think I would ever fund another tractor or anything again.
No.
We have a new dwarf driver that's racing with us this season, and he came from the drag strip as well.
Yeah.
And he said, because at Barona, there's a drag strip right next to the circle track.
Right.
And he goes, we used to make fun of you guys going in circle. It's so easy, yada, yada, yada. Well, he started racing a dwarf car this season, and he has absolutely changed his mind.
Yeah.
He's like, this is a handful and fun.
He said he got lapped last night.
That's the sun now.
Yeah, the
Yes.
sun. And he was hanging on, he said, for dear life. He said those cars were going by him so fast. He said, all I wanted to do is keep my line.
Yeah.
So he's going to call. His enthusiasm was almost as bad as yours. So we're having him call.
He was the
again.
happiest guy that I saw.
Yeah.
And he got lapped several times. But
Yeah.
he was still the happiest guy at the track last night.
But he's hooked. So he's already hooked. So you guys, and thank you for continuing the sport, because this is what keeps people coming to the track, and we got to do everything we can to keep tracks alive and well, and that's why we dedicate a 15-minute segment to Paris for guys and girls just like you that are either just getting into it or you've been doing it longer than dirt.
Oh yeah, I absolutely appreciate the time. It's really exciting to actually get to this point now in my life and this racing journey.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Awesome. May you stay there for many seasons.
Yeah, well, we'll send this show to Scott. Scott will send it to you. You'll have this interview. You can do whatever you like with it. Put it on your social media or use it to generate sponsorship. And as I always say, get a food sponsor.
Yes, he does.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy. Hey, it's awesome talking to you. Say hi to your family, and we look forward to seeing you down the road.
Oh yeah, definitely see you down the road.
All right, buddy. All right, we're going to take a quick break. I got a feeling Kyle Hopkins is on the line. I can hear him burning rubber in his front room as we speak. Right here on FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back to Racer Radio, FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.
Segment's brought to you by Certified Car Clinic, 11370 North Woodside Avenue. Anything he works on, if you want a dyno test, he has a dyno to tell you what he's done. It could be a race car, dirt car, sand car. Will you quit having fun with that? But if it's your normal street car, you may not need a dyno, but Greg and his gang can do that as well. Go to certifiedcarcare.net, certifiedcarcare.net. All right, we got Kyle Hopkins back online. First time in a what? Are you having a pain?
Nope.
Oh, well, you look like it. But first time in a dwarf car. How you doing, Kyle?
Good. Glad to be back.
Oh, he is on the road. And look, he's only going 55.
Yeah, calm. Take it out on the track. You have an outlet. You have an outlet now.
So, we talked earlier, you're in your dad's car, right?
Correct.
So, how's your dad?
For now.
How's your dad doing?
He's doing better one day at a time. He's definitely sore, but he's getting better.
Okay.
Did he take
He's getting better.
Did he take a weekend off from skydiving? I mean, let's put in perspective how much pain he really is in.
I think he did take off the week from skydiving.
All right,
He's been taking it easy.
All right, then he is in pain. because he's a wild child.
Is your dad having a midlife crisis? Is that what we're having here with your dad? Racing a dwarf car?
Bought a motorcycle.
Jumped out of a perfectly good airplane.
I actually don't know if we're supposed to be talking about all of this.
We're probably
I'm
not.
sorry, Wayne.
It's not even midlife. That's been his whole life.
Oh, really? Okay, so he's an adrenaline junkie.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
So the acorn didn't fall too
Exactly.
far from the tree? Is this what you're telling us?
Not too far.
So, are you going to race in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I guess now dwarfs are on.
Yeah, we just got
for
notified.
Next week. I don't know. We haven't been, and then the last 2 weeks they've been saying dwarfs are racing. Keep your ear to the ground on that one.
Yeah.
If it's on, I would be there. Definitely.
So Verona Speedway Facebook. Just keep watching their Facebook page.
Yeah, just stay on that. Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I added them a couple weeks back, and yeah, I've been just watching. I've been looking for practices mainly, but one didn't pop up this week, so
Right.
I jumped on the opportunity.
Trust me, Brittany is a Friday practice
I always
queen.
ask.
She asks. I mean, they know when they call in, they had better have an answer for practice.
I already asked about the shootout because people are coming from out of town, and so I had asked, but this was like a month ago. Do you think there'll be a Thursday practice? They were throwing the idea out because there were so many people coming from out of town. So keep looking for that. A Thursday practice, Friday, Saturday race.
Oh, it's a Friday, Saturday race.
Oh, wait, is it Saturday, Sunday? Oh.
No, I think it's Friday, Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Take a look. So, got any sponsors on the car?
No sponsors on the car as of now.
Wow, then. All right, we got to get you. Hey, we got to get you down to KUSI TV with the car. Get your dad a wheelchair. We'll bring him to.
Oh my gosh, no! It's just ribs.
Yeah, I know. I've done that. And I'm happy to put you on TV, let people know you're looking for sponsorship. I mean, your enthusiasm is so infectious that I can't believe anybody not wanting to throw some money at you to help you get around the car. All right, what do you got, Brett?
It is the 21st, 22nd, which is a Friday, Saturday.
Okay, Friday,
You had me
Saturday.
questioning myself.
So what number's the car? What number's your car?
33. 33.
All right. Any significance to that number?
It's the paint that was when Wayne got the car. That was the numbers that came on it. So he just bought this at the end of last season.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And what did? Oh, go ahead.
So he did, I believe, 2 races at the end of last season, and then he's been in the beginning of this season.
And he's been having fun too.
Yes, he's the one that he's like, you got to come up and check this out. And I came up and was just like, oh, what have I been missing?
What have you been hiding from me, Dad? And what's it say on the front? It came with something and he altered it. It's funny, but I can't recall.
Oh, goodness. I would have to look at at one of the pictures right now.
Hey, he's a racer. He doesn't look at the nose. He looks out the window.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
So have you broke his heart yet and said, Dad, you got to go get yourself a car?
I'm hoping he buys someone else's nicer, newer one, and I get his.
All right, that's fair enough.
That's a good way to do it.
I think you might be able to work that deal.
Yeah, come on, Dad. You need
Help
to
him.
upgrade. You
Help
need to
him
upgrade.
find one. I actually tried helping him find one.
As his skill progresses, his car needs to progress, correct?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Keep telling him that.
Don't we know somebody B&B? I don't know.
Yeah, I was throwing stuff his way, and he's like, "No, let me just get through another season first." But I can.
But that
help
was
you,
Wayne.
Kyle.
That was Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're talking to Kyle now.
Yeah, I'll feed him to Kyle, and Kyle can feed him to Wayne.
Yes.
Well, there's
Well, I've always put out there, and we might have lost him, at that Thursday practice, whoever gets the faster lap time gets to race.
There you go. Oh, don't do that. That's pressure.
Okay.
Oh, that would be great.
See? There we go, Kyle. That, or especially this one coming up, you race one day, he races the other, if he is recovered. Or you just keep poking his ribs.
Yeah, keep poking his ribs.
Yeah.
He's, I'm sorry, Dad.
Wayne is never going to talk to me again after this interview.
Yeah, give him a big hug. One of them bone crusher kind.
I love you.
That's awesome.
All right, buddy. Hey, you're an absolute breath of fresh air. We love talking to you. You're always welcome. All you got to do is get in touch with Britney, and she'll get you the information for TV. And tell your dad, with all seriousness, get well soon, and we can't wait for his next adventure.
All right, I definitely will. Thank you again, guys. And I do want to give that one last shout-out to Verona, too, because without them, I would have never been able to do this.
Right?
So
they give us that platform.
They're the ones that I really want to thank, because that place is awesome.
Yep.
It's like an adult toy
playground.
Store of just power. So
That's funny.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right, buddy. You take care. Drive safe, and we'll talk to you down the road.
See you soon, Kyle.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, man. That guy. Is
So, he was one of my highlights yesterday.
Oh, I could see.
Because of his enthusiasm. And Wayne is just as enthusiastic. And then he brings a gentleman along, Ron.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ron. Ron's rad, too. We both went to Oklahoma Valley High School, but he took the time to wait in a long line and get an autograph by Brittany Force and bring it to me. And I'd only known him after 2 races. He's all, I thought you might like this. I absolutely do. It's up in my office.
Really?
Yeah, so they're a really nice crew, and they're a couple pits away from me.
But we're never going to see him in another
I
drag
know. No, I don't think so.
I don't blame him. It's
No.
just so quick, so fast. It's over. Then you got to wait forever.
Yeah. So Kyle was a highlight.
Yeah.
And I have kept this hidden for 3 hours.
Yes. What is it?
So Brian Fitzgibbons came by. We ran into it. We crossed paths yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, Brian. Yeah, my buddy.
We had him in, and we talked about him and his racing and the recovery and survivor.
Cancer survivor.
And one of his biggest sponsors.
Oh.
Yes, the winery. And their billboard is up as well. The winery.
Look at that.
La Finquita up in Ramona.
Finquita.
And so he goes, oh, dwarfs are racing. Come up. I have something for you. And he handed me 2 bottles because look at what's on the back of this bottle.
Oh, look at the goosebumps.
I got goosebumps too
Look at
when
the
I got
goosebumps.
mine. Read it. So
It says Dave Stahl, Racer Radio, KCBQ.
And it's etched in the bottle. I got goosebumps too when I saw mine.
Kidding.
Yeah. So
you can't beat racers.
And the sponsors, because I think they did that too.
Absolutely.
Yay.
Oh my God.
It's so funny you got goosebumps too. It just turned it all around.
Yes,
I had just pulled the 50 and we crossed paths, and then he brought me up, and then to see it engraved like that.
It is beautiful.
It's so funny because he's like, well, it's been in the trailer for a day, so if it got too hot and the wine's no good, you come back and we will get you another bottle.
No. I'm going to go get another bottle. This is not going to be touched.
I know. I think mine's going on the mantle.
Mine too. But the only thing with wine bottles, you're supposed to store them on the side so they keep the cork.
And move it regularly.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
I brought it back. I put them in the ice chest, and then my dad's like, well, why haven't we been to that winery before? And I'm like, let's go.
On the list. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed our day as much as we've enjoyed doing it, but don't go anywhere. Gun Owners Radio is right around the corner on FM 96.1 AM 1170.
The answer.